Hi everyone, and welcome back to our weekly overview of the cryptocurrency markets on behalf of Apex Signals. It's been another good week behind us. We now have a nice symmetry to the 4 weeks we've been doing this. So the first two were all doom and gloom and negative, and the last two have been all positive. So hopefully next week we will break that symmetry and have a nice positive third week ahead. And over the weekend, the overall market capitalization of the cryptocurrencies markets broke through the $500 billion barrier once again, and that marks a remarkable turnaround from that bottom on the 6th of February when overall market cap dropped to 276 billion, and that was a 84% increase from the bottom of that dip. And we've seen once again that regulatory concerns, or now the lack of regulatory concerns, which have eased over the past couple of weeks, have really helped to spur that turnaround. And one of the major influences on the drop in cryptocurrency markets was the fears in Southeast Asia, particularly from South Korea, where a bill was put to Parliament which was in favor of banning cryptocurrency exchanges. South Korea, up until that point, was the nation that had the largest single cryptocurrency turnover in the world, and that massively dropped off. And over the last couple of weeks, that's come back. It now looks as though the government is pulling back from an outright ban on cryptocurrency exchanges. And that's resulted in a huge increase in trading turnover in South Korea, which has influenced the market overall. And we've also seen that in Japan, where there's also been a massive upturn in overall volumes being traded. And last week we were hovering around the 10,000 level, and the big issue which was showing a bit of softness and preventing a push up and another bull run up towards 13,000 was the lack of trading volume, and that's now been rectified. We have the trading volume, and it looks as though that Bitcoin could well have the support necessary in the market depth to now push back up towards 13,000. Obviously, that's not sure, and we'll see over the next couple of days, but most of the signals at the moment are pointing in that direction. You can see here on the Bitcoin chart, we've been we breached 11,000 over the weekend. There was a slight dip after that, but it's now come back again, and it does look as though hopefully over the next 2 or 3 days we'll see a run back up towards the 13,000 level. Whether we can go back towards 20,000 again, we'll have to wait and see. Whether that's even desirable at the moment is another question as well, or maybe a slightly more steady march back up would be more sustainable. But for now, everything is looking positive. And we were speaking last week about the positively interpreted Senate hearing, where lawmakers and regulators in the US were talking about potential future regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrencies, and the whole negativity that marred January and the beginning of February over regulatory concerns, and a kind of draconian approach by a lot of the governments in Asia. That all seems to have fallen away a little bit, and optimism has returned to the market. So if we now have a little look at some individual cryptocurrencies outside of Bitcoin, one of the interesting stories this week has been Litecoin. Now, many of you might know or have heard that there was a hard fork yesterday for Litecoin. Now, the hard fork currency is now being called Litecoin Cash. The founders of Litecoin have come out very strongly and said that Litecoin Cash has got nothing to do with Litecoin, and that holders of Litecoin should be careful or avoid giving their private wallet keys over to Litecoin Cash in order to receive Litecoin Cash. That's being offered at 10 to 1 for the original for holders of the original Litecoin tokens. And it's perhaps understandable that the founders of Litecoin are very much against the hard fork, and it remains to be seen whether the hard fork will have legs. Does it really have a chance to compete with the original cryptocurrency? We've seen in the past that they tend not to. Ethereum Classic is still around, Bitcoin Cash is still around, but their values are significantly below the originals that have continued after that hard fork. And the chances are that the same will happen with Litecoin Cash. That's one of the interesting longer term themes in cryptocurrency markets, is whether there will ever actually be a hard fork that turns into the dominant form of the cryptocurrency. It's not something we've seen yet. Of course, it's not impossible that it won't happen. But you can see here in the chart that the bull run that Litecoin went on, and we will only go back to 22nd of January here. But the main bull run has been from the beginning of this month, and a lot of it's been attributed to people buying into Litecoin in order to then take advantage of the distribution of Litecoin Cash from there. However, there has been another influence on Litecoin, and on the 26th of February, the LitePay e-commerce payment system will be launched, and that payment system is being designed to help e-commerce sites accept Litecoin payments, and that's generating quite a bit of enthusiasm as well. And actually, we've had quite a boost over the couple of days since the hard fork on Sunday, and a lot of that's being put down to enthusiasm over the impending launch of the LitePay system. So that's one to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. I would personally be surprised if we didn't see a little dip from Litecoin over the past couple of days, over the next couple of days, because it has had quite a jump over the past couple of days. However, if overall cryptocurrency markets push up strongly, then that could bring Litecoin up on their tailcoats with them and keeping on pushing forward. And finally, let's have a little look at Lisk. Now, something very interesting is happening later today at 7:30 p.m. GMT. Lisk will have its rebrand event that's been brought forward and was announced just recently that that's going to be today, when it was expected to be a few days from now. And basically that's going to be a presentation of the improvements to the Lisk platform. Lisk can be compared to Ethereum in some ways. It's a decentralized application and a smart contracts platform, and it's been doing well recently, and there's been a few notable ICOs which have chosen Lisk instead of Ethereum, and up until recently pretty much every ICO went on the Ethereum platform, but Lisk is starting to get a few renegades moving over to its alternative, and it'll be very interesting to see what's unveiled this evening, and that should have a major impact on Lisk price over the next couple of days. And the next time we speak about Lisk, it won't actually be called Lisk, because part of the launch event tonight will be presenting a new brand name and logo, and it will be a completely different cryptocurrency, really. Well, not a completely different cryptocurrency, but from a branding point of view, it will be, and we'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to the platform improvements. But that will be certainly one to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. That's all we have time for today. We'll recap what's going on with the Litecoin hard fork and the Lisk relaunch next week. Hopefully we will have seen Bitcoin past the 13,000 barrier. And yeah, we'll speak to you all next week. Bye for now.